Hi everyone, welcome to this Leader's Guide. My name is Cheesable and today I'll be sharing with you a guide to playing Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. So let's just jump right in. So in this video I'll be covering three topics. The first topic is when to pick the Baron, early game objectives of the Baron, and finally what should you be looking to do in the mid game. So when to pick the Baron? So the Baron has a passive ability, where his passive ability is called Master Stroke. At the start of the game, you secretly choose two factions, and when you deploy 4 or more troops into a conflict, you can reveal your choices and gain 1 influence with each. So what does this enable you to do? This enables you to get a quick spacing guild friendship, which grants you access to Interstellar Shipping. Interstellar Shipping is arguably the most powerful spot on the board, and thus the Baron has a quick roadmap to getting Interstellar Shipping access. The reason he has a quick path to the spacing friendship is because when he goes to Hardy Warriors, he triggers his Master Stroke by deploying 4 troops, and then he gets another additional influence in the spacing guild. So this means that at position 2, he is not blocked. So conventionally, what happens is that in the game of Dune Imperium, the second player can go to full space with his first action, round 1, and with his first action, round 2, he can go to full space again. This grants the second player access to Interstellar Shipping. But how the meta has evolved? The meta has evolved so much so that the first player will go to full space just to block the second player from getting quick access to Interstellar Shipping. In turn, what happens is that if the Baron is in position 2, the Baron can go to Hardy Warriors for his first action of round 1, triggering Master Stroke and getting an influence in the Spacing Guild. And during round 2, turn 1, he can go to full space and thus getting the Spacing Friendship. So when should you pick the Baron? You should pick the Baron when you're in position 2. Because the Baron in position 2 has almost a surefire way to get to the Spacing Friendship. The assumptions here are that he draws his faction access cards separately. So he has one round 1 and one round 2. And that's the assumption that we'll be using for the rest of the video. There are certain scenarios where he does not draw his faction access round 1 or draws it together round 1. In those scenarios, he has to play differently, and that we'll cover those situations in an advanced series. So, now you know when to pick the Baron. You pick the Baron when you're in second position. What are some early objectives? So as stated before, the early objective is to obtain the Spacing Friendship. So how does he go about getting the Spacing Friendship? So assuming player 1 does not go full space, the Baron, action 1 should go to full space, and round 2 action 1 should go to full space again. So this denies other players from going to the full space spot, giving you more control over Interstellar Shipping. If player 1 does go to full space, round 1 action 1 you want to go to Hardy Warriors and put 4 troops in. This will allow you to have your first influence on the Spacing Guild, and round 2 action 1 you should go to full space. So how do you convert the Spacing Friendship into an advantage? You go to Interstellar Shipping. Interstellar Shipping allows you to have 2 freighter icons, which will let you move your ship 2 times. This is a lot faster than smuggling, which allows you to only move your ship icon once. So the question is, how do we convert Interstellar Shipping to a win? So there are 4 components of Interstellar Shipping. On the top there's a tech buy, the center there's a faction bump and 2 troops, and at the bottom there are resources. So assuming that you have control of Interstellar Shipping and you get to go there 2 or 3 times, what's the best way to capitalize on this? So first you might ask yourself, is the clear path to victory through tech buys with a discount? When I look at the important techs that win you the game cost 6, both Holtzman engine and shuttle fleets. These are very powerful techs. However, if you were to go to Interstellar Shipping early on, you'll very rarely have the 4 spice needed to buy these techs. And if you do take spice below, it's often not optimal in the early game. So if buying text is not the right option, what should we be doing with our interstellar shipping? And the answer to that is Solari. Interstellar shipping is one of the most efficient ways to get Solari throughout the game. As compared to spaces like Wealth and Conspire, interstellar shipping grants a very cheap and effective way to get early Solari. So how do you convert Solari into an advantage? There are three main spots to convert Solari into advantages. There are Dreadnought spaces where you can go and purchase a Dreadnought and buy a tag. You can get Sword Master with 8 Solari, and with 5 Solari you can get High Council. Of the three, I think Dreadnought is out because for the space to be efficient round 3 and round 3 is the round where you have Solari, you generally do not have spice and are not able to fully maximize the spice, or not fully maximize action to buy a tag. As such, between the two High Council and Sword Master is the preferred advantage to get. So how do we reach the 8 Solari required to get Sword Master? So the mid-game objective of Baron is to get Sword Master round 3 or round 4. These are the optimum rounds to get Sword Master, and any later is a detriment to your game. So first we can get 5 Solari by spending 2 actions. One to go up twice with on the shipping track, then you can go down and up again on the shipping track. This grants you 5 Solari. You can get another 5 Solari by taking 1 action to go up and down the shipping track. There are other ways you can get Solari as well. You can get 3 Solari if you happen to get the Spacing Guild Alliance. You can get a certain amount of Solari through combat. And you also can get Solari through Wealth. When other players go up and down the shipping track through smuggling, they also might grant you Solari by going up and down. So how do we reach 8 Solari? So the obvious way is to go interstellar shipping round 2, round 3 and round 4. And that will grant you 10 Solari and allows you to buy your Sword Master round 4. However, this requires you to be unblocked on interstellar shipping. And with the meta how it is, I think getting round 2, round 3, round 4 is quite hard already. But it does get you there. It does get you to Sword Master round 4. So, is there a way to get Sword Master round 3? Today I'll be sharing with you one path to get here. There are many ways you can get Solari through combat, but the main combats you want to focus on is round 1, because round 1 is the most likely combat that you'll be putting 4 troops in to go to Hardy Warriors. And if the skirmish combats are those that give you faction bumps, so let me show you what happens if the first combat is a faction bump. So assuming round 1 you put 4 troops in, and you trigger your Master Stroke ability, you go up 1 space in the Spacing Guild. And because you win the combat by putting in 4 troops, you will win the skirmish and you'll get an additional influence bump with the Facing Guild. Then you reach the second rung already. So on round 2, you're at the second rung. Round 2, action 1, you go to full space, you go to 3 influence with the Spacing Guild. Round 2, action 2, you go to interstellar shipping. And you move your ship up twice. Round 3 comes around, you go interstellar shipping as your first action, you come down and up, and with the faction bump, you cross the line and you get the Spacing Guild Alliance as well as the 3 Solari. So you can get 5 Solari from shipping and 3 from the Alliance, assuming the first combat grants you influence bump. So this is the most powerful thing that Baron can do. And you might not think this happens very often, but out of the 6 skirmishes there are, 2 of them give you influence bumps. And that's 33% of the time. So if you're in position 2, this happens to you 1/3 of the time. So assuming the first combat is not an influence bump, how else can we reach a 3 Solari? So this is where you should be observant. Observant to get Solari through combats, get Solari through Wealth, or note when other people are coming to ship down and give you 1 Solari. So getting this additional 3 Solari is the key to your mid-game with the Baron, getting your early Sword Master. So, Cheesable, what about the Baron's ring? His ring is super powerful. You pay 1 Solari and get 1 intrigue. Intrigues are very powerful in the game of Dune Imperium, and activating his ring seems to be like a sure thing to do every single turn. But I think because your early game objectives is to get the Spacing Guild and Interstellar Shipping access, and your mid game objectives are actually to convert that advantage into a Sword Master, or in some cases High Council, you should only use your ring if it does not delay your Sword Master by 1 round. What I'm saying is that if your ring prevents you from reaching that magic number 8, you should not use your ring. However, if you do have that extra Solari, assuming someone else smuggles down, or you do get extra Solari through combat, you should be using your ring anytime you can. And as the game goes later and later, you should definitely be using your ring. Just make sure you do get your Swordmaster round 3 or round 4. And that's all there is to playing the Baron. You get early Interstellar Shipping access, and you convert it into a Swordmaster. After that, you want to use your ring as much as possible, and you just play the game efficiently. The additional intrigue cards and the additional faction bumps that you got early should convert you to an additional alliance and a sizable lead for you to carry you to around 7 victory. So I hope this guide helps you to play the Baron. You can actually pick the Baron in all positions, position 1, 3 and 4, but we'll cover that in an advanced series and cover the pitfalls of playing those positions as well. This guide also does not cover the situation where you draw both of your faction cards round 1 or round 2. But if you do happen to get into those scenarios, just play the game optimally. But majority of the time, your faction cards will be split, and you'll be able to employ this strategy to carry you to a victory from position 2 as the Baron. I'll be posting a Baron game, I think 2 days later, together with Lannister. I played Baron in a game with him, and then you can see how I played the Baron in second position. I hope you enjoyed this video, and do drop in the comments on which leader you would like to see next. Thanks for watching!